Hey Jay, remember you thought I was just gonna be old crackhead, was never gonna get my life together? But look at me now, I got a brand new whip, got the fly gear. Yeah, you should have stayed with me, girl. You made a mistake. Told you, baby. It's all right here, everything you want. Look at me. Styling and profiling, looking good, life is treating me.
So you think you know what addiction is, right? You probably picture someone struggling with a substance, maybe because of stress or a tough upbringing. But what if I told you that the biggest dealer in town isn't a shadowy figure in an alley? What if it's culture itself? Today, July 18th, 2025, a groundbreaking new concept has emerged that flips everything we thought we knew on its head. It's called woke to the dope, a term that sounds like it came straight out of a comedy sketch but is deadly serious. The idea suggests that the most powerful addictions aren't just personal, they're societal, carefully manufactured and sold to us every single day through our screens, our music and our aspirations. This isn't about blaming you for your problems, it's about looking at the bigger picture. Think about it. We are constantly swimming in a sea of messages telling us what to want, who to be and how to feel successful. This constant stream of information, this cultural noise, is what the theory calls cultural doping. It's a subtle but incredibly powerful force. It's the reason a teenager in Tokyo and a grandparent in Texas might suddenly desire the exact same trendy, expensive gadget they never knew they needed. It's a carefully crafted system designed to hook us, not on a chemical but on an idea, a lifestyle, or a status symbol that always seems just out of reach. The man who has pulled back the curtain on this phenomenon is none other than His Royal Majesty, Timothy Lawrence. Now I know what you're thinking, that's a title and a half. He is also known as the new American Empire Overseer of the Atlantic Seas and the Grand Ambassador of the United States of Africa. According to him, this isn't some accident or a byproduct of modern life. He argues that this is a deliberate strategy used by the powerful to keep us all distracted, chasing highs that they define for us. We're being doped by our own culture, and we're too busy chasing the next like or the newest trend to even notice the needle in our arm. So when we talk about being woke to the dope, it means waking up to this reality. It's about recognizing that the constant pressure to keep up, to achieve more, and to be seen in a certain way is a form of addiction in itself. It's a system that benefits a select few while leaving the rest of us feeling perpetually unsatisfied, always needing another hit of validation or success. This isn't just another self-help trend. It's a fundamental shift in understanding how modern society operates and, more importantly, how it controls us from the inside out, turning our own dreams into the bars of our cages. So, how does this cultural doping actually work? It's not like someone is holding a gun to your head and forcing you to buy the latest sneakers. No, it's much smarter, much more insidious than that. The manipulation starts with controlling the narrative. A small group of influential people, think media moguls, tech billionaires and marketing geniuses, essentially decide what is cool, what is successful, and what is desirable. They create a cultural menu and everything on it is designed to get you hooked. They target everyone, from impressionable kids wanting to fit in to older folks who fear being left behind in a rapidly changing world. For the youth, the bait is often social acceptance and identity. They are sold the idea that their worth is tied to their online following, the brands they wear, or the parties they attend. These are the cultural party drugs of our time. They offer a quick, intoxicating rush of belonging and validation. For the elders, the manipulation is different, but just as effective. They are often targeted with messages of security, legacy, and relevance. They might be influenced to invest in a particular stock, support a certain political ideology, or adopt new technologies, all under the guise of staying wise and connected in a world that seems to be leaving them behind. This process creates a cycle where both the young and the old are chasing artificial goals set by others. Think of a popular musician who suddenly promotes a new, obscure brand. Almost overnight, that brand becomes a symbol of coolness. The people behind the scenes have effectively doped a segment of the population, creating a craving where none existed before. They are the puppet masters, pulling the strings of our desires, making us dance to a tune that lines their pockets and solidifies their power. It's a brilliant business model, really, because the product they're selling is an invisible feeling. The scary part is that it works so well because it taps into our most basic human needs: the need for community, for purpose, and for recognition. The puppet masters don't create these needs, they just exploit them. They offer a shortcut to fulfillment, a cultural drug that provides a temporary high, but ultimately leaves the user empty and needing more. This is how they maintain control, by ensuring that the youth are too busy chasing trends to question the system, and the elders are too busy trying to keep up to offer any real guidance or resistance. For decades, we've been told that addiction is a personal failing. We blame it on stress from work, fights with family, or some deep-seated personal trauma. And while those things are certainly real and can contribute to substance abuse, the theory of woke to the dope argues they're not the main event. Instead, it posits that cultural doping is a far more powerful and primary driver of addiction. It suggests that the relentless pressure and manufactured desires of our culture create a void that people are desperately trying to fill, making them vulnerable to all sorts of dependencies, not just traditional drugs. Imagine you're running a marathon you never signed up for. Every day, you're told you have to run faster, look better while running, and post about your amazing running journey online. This is modern life. The constant stress isn't just from your boss or your bills, it's from the cultural expectation to be constantly improving, performing, and broadcasting your success. This creates a baseline level of anxiety and inadequacy that is far more pervasive than a single personal problem. When you feel like you're failing at this impossible cultural marathon, reaching for a drug, be it alcohol, shopping, or social media, feels like a logical escape. This is a crucial distinction from traditional views of addiction. A family issue might push someone towards a drink, but the cultural pressure to appear happy and successful at all times is what might prevent them from seeking help. The shame isn't just personal, it's a feeling of failing to live up to the cultural ideal. The addiction, therefore, becomes a symptom of a much larger societal sickness. The cultural party drugs we consume are just a way to numb the pain of not being able to achieve the impossible standards set for us by the puppet masters. In this new framework, addiction is less about what's wrong with you and more about what's wrong with the world you've been thrown into. It's a collective issue, not an individual one. When an entire generation feels an overwhelming pressure to be perfect, it's no surprise that addiction rates for all sorts of things, from opioids to online gambling to obsessive self-improvement, are skyrocketing. The woke to the dope concept forces us to see that we are not just fighting our personal demons. We are fighting a system designed to make us feel inadequate and then sell us the cure. Here's the most ironic and dangerous part of cultural doping. It's our own ambition and success that make us the most vulnerable. You would think that achieving your goals would make you happy and immune to these pressures, but it's often the opposite. The chase for success, whether it's personal or cultural, is the very thing that primes us for addiction. When you get a taste of success, a promotion at work, a viral video, or buying your dream house, you don't just feel good, you get a hit of a very potent cultural drug. And like any drug, you immediately start craving a bigger, better hit. This creates what we can call the success trap. The more you achieve, the more you have to lose, and the more you feel the pressure to keep climbing. The desire for success becomes an addiction in itself. This is where the cultural party drugs become so appealing. They are marketed as tools for the ambitious, the hustlers, the winners. Think of exclusive clubs, luxury vacations, high-stakes networking events, or even performance-enhancing substances. These aren't seen as vices. They're framed as part of the successful lifestyle, rewards for your hard work, or necessary tools to stay on top of your game. When you compare this to traditional drug problems, the difference is stark. A traditional view might see a person turning to drugs because they have failed or hit rock bottom, but in the world of cultural doping, people often turn to these party drugs because they are succeeding. Their addiction isn't a retreat from life, it's an extension of their ambition. They are not trying to escape their reality, they're trying to enhance it, to push it to the next level, to keep the high of success going. This makes the addiction much harder to spot and even harder to treat because it masquerades as achievement. Understanding this trap is vital for our collective well-being. We need to wake up and see that the cultural definition of success is a rigged game. It's a hamster wheel that spins faster the more you run, and it's fueled by our own dreams and desires. By being woke to the dope, we can begin to question the goals we are chasing and the true price of achieving them. Only then can we break free from the cycle of cultural doping and start to define success on our own terms, finding fulfillment that doesn't require another hit of a drug sold to us by a culture that doesn't have our best interests at heart.